I do have to say there's something very satisfying about deoxidizing copper chains. You can see that we have this texture pack that adds all this extra pizzazz whenever we oxidize them down. And now with our honeycombs, we can do the same thing and look at that orange flare that you can see with the particle effects. Along with there's a really wonderful sound that comes from it too. But my name is Slip and welcome to my Minecraft world. This beautiful kingdom is called Solith and we've been working on it over the last 6 months. And we have a whole ton to do today, so if this is your first time watching, well, you're here for a good episode. But I do think that it's finally time that we put on our business caps. I do play with other people in this Minecraft world and the currency that we use is diamonds, which means that I'm pretty much always a very, very poor man in this world. But over the last couple of weeks, we've been preparing to make a pottery sherd shop. And at this point in time, we're about 2/3 of the way in order to get all the sherds that we need for the shop. So as the sun begins to set, I say let's take out our copper brush and see how many more we can get. And before I show you the shulker box that's in our hand, I did want to mention that I've spent tons and tons of time in creative mode recently. I actually have a windmill build that we're going to put up on the hill over here, and I can't wait to have it in the world. I think that building a sailboat will completely transform the area that we have behind us, but we still have tons and tons of work to do, so I say let's get back to it. Well, as you can see, we have a beautiful ship behind me. I really do love the design, and we went with blue sails, which is something that I've never done before, but I think I like how it came out. You can see from the side that we have tons of trapdoors and tons of different woods. We have our spruce and our dark oak over here, and we even have a little bit of jungle inside too. Underwater, at the stern of the ship, you may notice that we happen to have a rudder here, although I may happen to die showing you. And then you'll also notice that the interior of the ship has a really cozy look to it. We have some smokers right down here and some storage over here. And then also, if we take a look right here, you'll notice that we have a miniature rudder so that you can steer the ship wherever it goes. On the mast here, you can see that we have some ladders that are leading up this way to some composters, which will lead up all the way to the top. And it's not actually accessible, but it's a really good look. And then we can also make our way on over to this side where we have the bow here, where we have a couple of grindstones that lead their way up to I don't know whatever this thing is called, but it looks really cool leading onto the front of the ship here. I love this design, and I'd be happy to send you the schematic if you would ever like it. That's too close. However, we just finished a 3-hour live stream, and that's not all that we ended up getting done. So let's go and take a look at our brand new pottery shop. We have arrived at Joel's Mall, which is located right here in the shopping district, as you can see, with all of the builds around us surrounding the lakeside. And Joel's build is kind of like a 70s sort of casino. It's very old school and classic, and I love all of the build choices to it. However, it's kind of become a bit abandoned over time. One of my favorite things about the entire build is the garden beds that we happen to have. Right here, we can take a look and you can see that he used tons of different little blocks with the dried grass and the desert cactus flowers, all of the different little things to make this look really, really good looking. But we can head inside where we have a really cool kind of beautiful but also run down looking, since it's so empty, mall that we have here. And the floor design was done by another server member, Ekambokum. And it looks incredible. We have the mushroom stems and the diorite, and I don't even know what this block is. I don't even know what it is, but it looks really beautiful. And I love everything that we have right here, and we have tons and tons of different mall sites that have not been used whatsoever except for one that you can see where we have all of the paintings right here. I think it looks absolutely stunning. Welcome to Echoes in Clay. I am kind of nervous hearing all of the mobs around here, but we can head inside to the interior of this build. I may not have mob-proofed all of around, but you can see that we have a couple of bookshelves here, along with some paintings, and the idea behind this shop, as you can see, is that we have our pottery sherds, where if we head over here into this chest, you can see that although it's unfortunate, it's 3 diamonds per sherd. It took me a long time to get everything. We have a chest that is halfway full of pottery sherds that you can come and get at any time that you would like. We have some copper grates and then a really cool looking floor design with some weathered copper blocks that hopefully will be fully coppered eventually. And then some pots and even more paintings surrounding this area. And I think it just looks really good, and this place is officially open for business. So you could say that I'm a very happy man, and hopefully this makes it a little bit easier for us to get even more blocks over time. But I do think that it's about time that we head away from the shopping district, although it's always tempting to get more flowers at Draconis' flower shop. So we are back here at the kingdom, and this is usually the time where I would start to say that this is time for the main build of the video. And trust me, I love building things in Minecraft. I mean, we've been building all episode. We've built this wonderful sailboat that we have right here. And then we also built that shop. But at the same time, I kind of have like a terraforming itch. So before we get to the main build of today's episode, I think that we're going to get to see how much transforming of the land we can do. If you want your Minecraft videos to feel more cinematic without overthinking it, I made a 1-hour course that shows exactly how I film and edit my shots. If you want to make Minecraft look unreal, it's linked below. Thanks so much for watching the video, and let's get back into it. It's been a lovely couple of hours just getting things done here around the kingdom. And better yet, you can see that to our name we have plenty of diamonds once again, which is a good feeling, but I know that I'm going to spend them very soon. I've also done some building off camera so we can head behind the library, and then we can flip open this trapdoor and head on down to our sugarcane farm. We have the main sugarcane farm, and off to the right, you can see that we have tons and tons of paintings just to fill the space. If we head over to the left side, you'll see that we have an inventory area right here, and then we can head through the arch, and you'll see that we have one more sugarcane farm right here. I do like the fact that we use tons of tuff on the walls, and all in all, this is a good step forward when it comes to being able to have unlimited books in the world. However, we can head back up the ladder because that's not everything that we've been up to. Now, if we step onto the monorail, you can see that over from the Kingdom of Solith, we've been steadily working to expand the pathway over to Pug Space, and I've gotten around to planting tons and tons of potatoes all around the area. I do have to admit that the area still kind of feels a bit barren, so I do think it's a good excuse to try to get around to making some custom trees in the next episode. But I do love the view of the library that we have from over here, and then we can take a look over in this direction and continue to walk, and you can see how lush it really is. It has a wonderful sightline over to Pug's base, and I do think that the lanterns add that extra bit of verticality that the build really needed. And so it makes its way all the way down to the river, which who knows, maybe I'll talk to Pug and eventually we'll work on making a bridge together here. But I do think that it is time for us to make the main build of today's episode. I've been wanting to build something in this area that we have right here, and I've come up with a cool looking tower design. It honestly fits in with the kingdom very well, and maybe my favorite tower design that I've ever made. And if you're still watching, I did want to say thank you. Your support really does mean a lot to me. But without further ado, let's get to building. Well, it does happen to be raining, but we do have a finished build here. The idea behind this build is for it to be a wizard's tower. I do think that you can see that by the arches that we have on the roof. And I will say that I am very happy to have another tall build within the world. However, I do have to say that this is the first build that we have without an interior. However, I really do have to admit that I love this build design. You can see that we went with the banners of the Kingdom of Solith, and I love how they intertwine with the design. I do have a feeling that in the next episode, we're going to transplant all of the wheat that we have right here with the cropland that we have over in this direction here. And I think that it's going to look absolutely fantastic. I did want to mention that once again for the block palette, we ended up using a whole ton of diorite and calcite and then some polished diorite as well. You can also see here that I ended up using some pale oak fence gates and some pale oak trapdoors to make some window panes. If we fly up to the top deck, you can see that we have some pretty impeccable views at the rest of the kingdom. And if we head outside this window, you can see that we have an awesome look at the sailboat too. But man, I will say I have so many more ideas for what I want to put into this world. So as the sun begins to set in this beautiful kingdom, I say let's get back to work.